All right. Well, I am just thrilled to be presenting here because we've got a lot of bright minds in the room, and I cannot wait to present this to you and see what you have to say. Oops, not the right arrow. Okay. Perfect. So what I'm going to discuss with all of you today is the exclusivity of social spaces and how it has a tremendous social impact on our daily lives. But first, who am I? So my name is Emily Diaz, and I moved to Raleigh not too long ago from San Francisco, where I lived and worked for the last 11 years. By day, I work building technology with a company that I am a founding member of, 15Five. By night, I have a background in sociology, so I study people and the dynamics between them. I also have a passion for building bridges, connecting people who would normally not connect. And America is more divided than ever, so we have a lot of work to do. Ours is a time where there is conversation. It's the red versus blue, the haves versus the have-nots, local versus immigrants. There's a lot of fear and there's a lot of anxiety in our world today. Anxiety disorders are also at an all-time high. Over 18 million Americans have some sort of diagnosed anxiety. And coupled with the access to technology, there is more physical isolation than ever. This all gets exacerbated by social media, which gives us the illusion of being connected to others, but ultimately makes us feel more alone. So, as a technologist and a woman in the business, I can tell you that while technology has this great way of connecting us, it also isolates us. Nothing is more apparent than the filter bubble. You haven't heard of this term. It is essentially the internet's answer to having way too much information. Try drinking Niagara Falls through a coffee straw, right? So the internet's answer is to provide you with just the information that you want to see and nothing else. This is a problem when it comes to broadening your perspectives because you don't have an understanding of what is just beyond the veil. And so when it comes to prejudicial thought and fear, what you don't know actually can hurt you. So, social spaces are where we come and interact with others. In order to dismantle fear of what we don't know, we have to begin with empathy. Empathy requires contact to see sameness and affinity in somebody that we normally wouldn't see eye to eye with. And contact is what leads to understanding and the dismantling of prejudice. So here's what I propose. Physical spaces, it's an answer that is quite simple. Bring people together under one roof, all different types of people. Pop the bubble, mix the pot, get them interacting with each other and having conversations that lead to unlikely friendships. The problem is there are not very many social spaces out there that do this very well. Coffee shops, parks, bars, they're good at bringing people together, but they don't do very much for interaction. And they have a tendency to be exclusive. So let's make some. I'm going to present to you a very quick framework about how to design inclusive spaces in your businesses and homes. So the first is, it's not pay to play, which means that anybody can show up. You don't have to have money to be there. If you're a business, then you have to have some sort of a sustainable revenue model. So this could be membership, sponsorship, and other sorts of payment to keep the lights on. Inclusive design. So to give you a sense, it's the difference between a banquet and a diner, right? The understanding that there's a certain clientele comes with a physical space. You know who belongs and you know who don't. Inclusive spaces are blending motifs so that everybody can feel like they belong and have something to get out of it. Participation is a cornerstone of an inclusive space. You can come and present your gifts and your own stories. It encourages a sense of belonging, and it gives people an opportunity to have chance encounters with people that they normally wouldn't other. This is a controversial one, tech-free, right? So tech like phones can often get in the way of a meaningful moment. So we say put your technology at the door so that you can be fully present with your environment and the conversations that are there. We all need a little bit of downtime every once in a while too. So art and nature. An inclusive space is fully immersive. It's full of wonder, it makes you feel comfortable, there's things that you can interact with. Large-scale art exhibitions as well as events like potting terrariums and plants, folding origami. Imagine the types of connections that you could have with art and nature as your guide. So the triangle. Why present this new idea here and now? We are one of the fastest growing regions in the United States, if you haven't heard. New people come here every day. We want them to feel welcome. We also want them to feel nurtured and become active, contributing members of their community and fall in love with it, just as I have and we all have. And we are also going to be one of the top 5 innovative hubs in the nation, and that's part of the work that we're doing at Innovate Raleigh. So, if you are inspired by the idea of creating social spaces where people can come together and find something new across the table. If you believe that social spaces are a place where we can feel connected to our communities in a deeper way, then reach out to us. We want to hear from you.